We've used the grant at Peak Cymru to add a lot of capacity to our team. So within our existing team, we've been able to do more fundraising, to think more about our kind of financial processes, to give more time to the core team, particularly to do work with young people. We've been able to make a space for thinking about young people's voice and governance at Peak. So how are young people making decisions about the programme that happens here, and doing some kind of testing and some pilot sessions around that. We've been able to employ a young person under 30 for a development role as a curator and producer. We've been able to resource young people to undertake opportunities at local cultural events like the Abergavenny Food Festival. There's been so many different elements of this grant, that's just a few, but really I'd say it's about building capacity in the team, but also thinking about how can we as an organisation give more voice to young people, more power to young people, but also think about how we generate income and how to do that in a more sustainable way.
We've actually been able to invest in talking to young people and learning from other organisations in the area about how they do it, and then it will mean in the future we should have young people involved in all levels of decision making within the organisation, and the organisation generally will be far more directed by young people's kind of wants and needs and ideas. It's really helped us develop some work around that real issue of young people not having the real tangible opportunities in rural communities to stay here and invest, both like in terms of their work, but also in terms of long-term like life and relationships and community and stuff. And so one of the things it's allowed us to do is really build on some existing partnerships, but also some new partnerships within the area to look at young people's rural career pathways, especially within creative arts or creative professions or linked in that way. So some of that's looked like mentoring with artists locally off the back of some of our projects, and some of that's looked at being able to plan with other organisations some more significant pieces of programme and work where young people will learn different skills about different rural careers that they might be able to do and have the space to develop some of their ideas around that.
I'm sure, as many others have said, the time frame has been really challenging. So the grant has created a lot of impact in the organisation, but we've had to sort of condense that, over a relatively short period of time. But what we've been trying to do is to kind of use it to kind of get plans in place, to do the research we want to do those kind of pilot sessions with young people, so that we have all of that resource, all of that information, all of those plans now in place, and we can kind of really move forward with them through the programme over the next year. But I think it's enabled us to think more deeply about the communities that we work with, to actually create those opportunities to speak to young people about their voice and their kind of agency in the organisation. And so all of that, I think, has a really long-term impact. I think this grant has given us loads of kind of resources for moving forward. So we've been able to actually make a fundraising strategy, to make a sustainability plan, which looks at environment, but it also looks at, our economic situation, how we work with local communities. So those kind of plans and resources are now in place as a result of this funding, and now we can really move forward and sort of action those things.